Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Today we are entering the 100th talk of Bhagavad Gita. In this 13th chapter, the whole approach to the reality is brought out by Bhagwan Shankaracharya in his commentary on the second verse. And this is one point which is the point of difference between approach of knowledge and approach of other paths. In the path of karma or dharma, in the path of yoga or in the path of devotion, one takes the position of an individual or the soul and keeps on improving that position, doesn't want to discard it. So these three paths talk about liberation of I. But the very question, whom you want to liberate, who is he? Like Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi says that through karma yoga we purify the mind. Very good. Through the upasana, devotion, we make the mind single pointed. Very good. Through the yoga abhyas, prana bandhanat liyate manaha. By the yoga abhyas, you want to control the mind. Very good. But our question is, this mind whom you want to purify, make it single pointed and make it totally controlled, what is that mind? Have you ever thought about it? No. Then, manasam tu kim margane krite. So, I am miserable, I am papi, I am punyavan, I want to attain siddhis, I want to go to heaven, I want freedom from poverty, I want freedom from the ill health. This is tackled in the earlier three paths which we have told. But now here this path of inquiry or knowledge hits the nail right at the beginning. Who is this I? Whom you are wanting to help. And therefore this topic Kshetra Kshetrajna Yoga in this 13th chapter begins. First, there are these two aspects, Kshetra and Kshetrajna. This is very simple, doesn't require any special ability. Then the second thing is, Kshetrajna is not one per head, but it is one without a second. For that we have seen an exhaustive commentary, and where we were told, never even for sympathy to the scriptures, sympathy to the world, sympathy to the Ishvara, we should accept the Jiva Bhava and somehow compromise. No. See what happens, there are many people who are of the opinion, we should not fight, let us compromise. So, let us have 50% the methods of Hindus, 50% of the Christians, 50% of the Muslims, 50% of the other, and somehow let us try to evolve a new dharma. This doesn't happen. Because if you are talking about the truth, you are talking about the truth. In truth, there is no kind of compromise. And therefore, in this commentary, Bhagwan Shankaracharya brought this point very exhaustively. So, हंततर्हि आत्मनि क्रियाकारक फलात्मतायाः स्वतः अभावे अविद्यया च अध्यारोपितत्वे कर्माणि अविद्वत् कर्तव्यानि एव न विदुषाम इति प्राप्तम्. So ultimately we have come to this conclusion that those who have this wrong notion about their identity, they alone will be got lost in the karma, upasana, everything. Therefore, what is the thing? So as long as we are having this clarity of our goal, that whether we are doing karma, upasana or yoga, it is only for one purpose, that we can attack this virus of I, not protect it. And for that, we have to know what is this kshetra and what is the kshetrajna. So, up to here we have seen in our last talk. Now, Bhagavan says, idam shariram ityadi shlokopadishtasya kshetradhyayarthasya sangraha shloka ayam upanyasyaste tat kshetram ityadi vyachikhyatisitasya hi arthasya sangraha upanyasa nyaya iti. So, we shall be talking in this third verse. In short, what are the contents of this 13th chapter? Because the tradition is, first we tell what we are going to tell and then tell in detail. So, the third verse reads, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Tat Kshetram Yaccha Yadrukcha Yadvikari Yatascha Yatam Sachayo Yat Prabhavascha Tat Samasena Me Shrunu. So initially Samasena Shrunu. First of all, I will tell you in short. What is that? Yad nirdishtam idam shariram iti tat shabdena paramrushati. So the first word in this verse is yad tat kshetram yaccha yadrukcha. So yad nirdishtam idam shariram, in the last verse, this shariram is mentioned by the word tat shabdena paramrushati. So yad idam shariram uktam, what was said as idam shariram in the last verse, that is mentioned here as tat in the present verse. Yaccha idam nirdishtam kshetram tat yadruk yadrusham swakiyaihi dharmaihi. So the second word is what? Tat kshetram yaccha yadruk. Yaccha, what is that? Yadruk means yadrusham swakiyaihi dharmaihi. What is the dharma of this kshetra? Like, the dharma of the fire is heat, dharma of the space is the sound or the avakasha, the accommodative aspect. In the same manner, what is the dharma of the kshetra, that we will talk about? Cha shabda samuchayartho. And the word cha is meant to indicate and. Yadvikari yo vikaraha asya tad yadvikari. So we will be telling you what is the dharma of this kshetra. Then what are the modifications of this kshetra. So, yo vikara asya tad yadvikari yato yasmacha yat karyam utpadyati iti vakya sheshaha. Yadvikari yatascha yat. Yataha, from whom? Yad, what is born. So we shall tell you also the cause and the effect aspect, which are the contents of this kshetra. So we shall tell you these things. So first is about this body, we will tell you shariram. What is the dharma of this idam, kshetram, and also what are its modifications, and what is the cause and effect aspect of this kshetra, that we shall tell you. Then what more? Sacha yo yat prabhavascha. Sacha yaha kshetrajnaha nirdishtaha. Then in the first two verses, this kshetrajna was indicated. What was indicated? Idam shariram kaunteya kshetramitya vidhiyate etad yo vetti tam prahu kshetrajna. So yaha kshetrajnaha, so sacha yaha kshetrajnaha nirdishtaha, that kshetrajna which was indicated in the first and the second verse, and sa yad prabhavaha, and what is the prabhava, what is the manifestation of that kshetra, upadhikrita shaktaya yasya. When this kshetrajna is upadhikrita, is expressing through the various conditioning, then upadhikrutaya yasya ya shaktaya, what are his powers and potentialities, and yat prabhavaha cha, and what is the effect of his shaktis, that also we shall discuss. So, what it means, we shall discuss about the absolute reality and the relative reality. See, the same thing we are seeing in our Shvetashvatar Upanishad. Nirupadhika Brahma and Sopadhika Brahma. Nirupadhika Brahma is the transcendental reality. Sopadhika Brahma is the immanent reality. So what are we going to study now in this 13th chapter? Three things. One, regarding the kshetra, what is the dharma of the kshetra, then what are the modifications of the kshetra, what is the cause and effect aspect of the kshetra, this we will study. Second, we will study who is this kshetrajna and what is his nature, and the same kshetrajna when expressing through the conditioning as the conditioned expression of the kshetrajna, what is that? All this we shall study. So this is how you know in this all the contents are enumerated in this verse. So samasena sankhepena mama vakyataha shrunu. So why Bhagavan has to say listen? Because Bhagavan may talk, the question is whether you are listening or not. And the question is why we should listen? Avadharaya, so that you can realize the truth. It is not for knowing one more thing. You know, I have known that Upanishad also. I never knew that this verse is from Gita. Or that the best joke I like in my whole life about these scriptures is one lion talking about this. Swamiji told us, I had never spoken to him, he has never attended my single satsang. Swamiji told us, Mana eva manushanam karanam bandha mokshayoho, Bhagavad Gita tells us. And I was shaken, completely. So when I asked him, first of all, I never told you, never attended the satsang. Swamiji, we have to talk like this on the stage, How can I tell that I don't know Swamiji and I am introducing? So I had to talk like this. I said, all right. Then I said, your Bhagavad Gita, which is the edition, because this Mana eva manushanam is not in Bhagavad Gita. Huh? It is not in Bhagavad Gita. I said, no. Oh, I thought every shloka is only from Bhagavad Gita. So you can imagine the height of ignorance. So, Shrunu Shrutva Avadharaya. First of all, listen and be fully established in this knowledge. Avadharaya Nishchayam Kuru. Nishchaya Kuru means what? When you will be fully convinced and firmly established in this, then only your spiritual practice will be steady. You know what happens? When many people come and listen, they always, have comments against us. What is that? Sometimes you say that you should produce wealth throughout life, work. Sometimes you say that you should withdraw from the whole world. How long are you going to do this kartavya, karma, to leave everything? Sometimes you say there is nothing like knowledge. Knowledge, only devotion. Satu asmin parama prema rupa amrita swarupa cha. Next time you say, even the suspicion of the jiva bhava is the worst kind of sin. Ram, 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 Ram. And if you say Ram, Ram, then you say, don't nag after that Ram, Ram. He will call Hanumanji, lagao. So we don't know what exactly you are at. Therefore, Vakyataha mama me shrunu and shrutva avadharaya. You decide what the truth is and then follow your path. Now, tat ksheta kshetradnyayoho yathatmam vivakshitam stauti shrotu buddhi pranorchanartham. Now, when this topic is being told that you should know clarity, the exactness about what is the kshetra and the kshetrajna, the question is, why should we know? So, the mahatmya, the greatness of this knowledge has to be brought in the mind of the listener. And how the greatness is brought? Do you know why you should study Bhagavad Gita? Mahatma Gandhi used to say that all my questions were answered by Bhagavad Gita. To whom will tell you will tell this thing? To a congressee. If you tell this thing to a RSS fellow, he said, is it? Then I will never study Bhagavad Gita. See? So depending upon the people we have to talk. So if somebody is the follower of, let us say, Shirdi Sai Baba. One day it so happened, I told one person, I said, hey, look here, you are getting too disturbed. You should chant, Vishnu Sahasranam every day, morning, evening. Your problems will be solved. Swamiji, I don't believe in all these things. For me, my Baba is everything. I said, it's very good. Have you read any time the Pothia of Shirdi Sai Baba? Yes. What you have read? I read some time whenever I get time. Have you read all the things? I don't remember what I read. I just open any page and whatever comes I read 5-10 lines and go. I said, okay, then I'll tell you. What is that? So I told him, I said, look here, this Vishnu Sahasranam was given by Shirdi Baba to somebody telling him that this Pothi has helped me grow spiritually. Therefore, you also read it every day, morning, evening, one parayan at least. And then his devotee did it and he was also greatly evolved, Mahatma. Baba said like that, yes, then I will start. So what I have done, Shrotuhu buddhi prarochanartham, so that he gets the Mahatmya. Okay, this is very important. The same technique is used here. Rashibhir bahudha gitam Chandobhir vividhai pruthaka Brahma Sutra Padaishchaiva Hetu Madbhir Vinishchitaihi. Now, why you should know the Kshetra and the Kshetrajna so much? Because Rushibhi, Vashishtadivihi, Baudha, Bahuprakaram Gitam Kathitam. You know, all the great masters, they are great. You know why? Because they have spoken about these Kshetra and the Kshetrajna. Therefore, they are great. Now see, in these two topics, Kshetra and Kshetrajna, the third topic is highlighted and deleted. What is the third topic? The third topic is Kshetra is Jagat, Kshetrajna is Ishvara. What about the Jiva? So the Jiva is not brought at all. Therefore, ऋषिभिः वशिष्ठादिभिः बहुधा प्रकारम बहु प्रकारम गीतम कथितम. So when the great rishis like Vashishta etc. they speak about it, so we also must know. Okay. छंदोभिः छंदांसि रुगादीनि तैः छंदोभिः विविधैः नाना प्रकारैः पृथक् विवेकतः गीतम्. And all the Vedas, they talk about only this. The Vedas talk about this Purusha Prakriti Viveka. Vedas talk about what is Kshetra, what is Kshetrajna. And this is what they have been doing. So, why we should study Kshetra, Kshetrajna? Because great masters like Vashishta, they did. Because the great scriptures like Veda, they speak about it. Third, how these Vedas speak about this reality or the Kshetra, Kshetrajna? Kincha Brahma Sutra Padaihi cha eva. By the Brahma Sutra, Pada, these three words. So, Brahmanaha Suchakani Vakyani Brahma Sutrani. How beautiful Bhagavan Shankara writes, Brahmanaha Suchakani Vakyani Brahma Sutrani. So, which are those Vakyas which are indicating the Brahma? Is all the Mahavakyas. So, ब्रह्मणः सूचकानि वाक्यानि ब्रह्मसूत्राणि तैहि पद्यते गम्यते ज्ञायते इति ब्रह्म तानि पदानि उच्यन्ते. So those sentences which lead us, pada means padyate iti, that which is reached, attained. So padyate gamyate jnayate, this is synonymous. Padyate is reached or attained, gamyate is recognized, or jnayate is known. Gama, gaccha. This dhatu, this is one rule, basic rule. Gatyarthak dhatavaha jnanartham. All the dhatus indicating the movement, change, going, etc., they are also applied for knowledge or knowing. And therefore, gamyate, jnayate, padyate. So, Brahma Sutrani. So all these Mahavakyas also talk about the same thing. Taihi eva kshetra kshetrajneyoho yathatmyam geetam iti anuvartate. So Brahma Sutra padaihi eva, by them also, this geetam is yathatmyam geetam. The glory, the reality about kshetra kshetrajna is sung. Iti anuvartate should be understood. Now, Om iti eva upasita ityadibihi. Example is given in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Om iti eva upasita. One should chant the Om and do the Om upasana. See, we will study the Mandukya hereafter. So, there also the whole Mandukya Upanishad speaks about the Om as the Abhidhana, and this world as abhidheya, and how this abhidhana abhidheya sambandha will lead us to recognize the ekameva dvitiya Brahma. Here in this 13th chapter, Bhagwan Shankara has brought out, don't even talk about jiva. In the Mandukya Upanishad, one step further, don't bring about even birth. Na nirodho na cha utpatti na baddho na cha sadhakaha na muktaha na mumukshurvai ittesha paramarthata. There even the creation, destruction, janma, marana and bondage, liberation, everything is erased out. That's why we keep it at the last. If we keep it in the beginning, then nobody will listen further. So, तैहि एव क्षेत्र क्षेत्रनयोः याथात्म्यं गीतम् इति निवर्तते. आत्मा इति एव उपासीत, ओम इति एव उपासीत इत्यादिभिः ब्रह्मसूत्रपदैः आत्मा ज्ञायते. So by these words, Atma, Om, this Atma is led, revealed. हेतुमद्भिः युक्ति युक्तैः विनिश्चितैः न संशय रूपैः निश्चित प्रत्यय उत्पादकैः ब्रह्मसूत्र पदैः. So this is how the whole goes. Brahmasutra pada is the noun. So by the Brahmasutra padaihi, and because it is plural, they are many. It's not only one. So all the words which are revealing, indicating the Brahman, the reality, and hetumadbihi, by proper logic and reason, and vinishchitaihi, it is firmly, finally, samshaya rahitaihi, without any doubt it is revealed. And therefore we must shrunu and avadharaya, we must understand, listen and come to a final conclusion about the spirituality. Like, many people are very sincere and their sincerity is only up to being good and helping others and being goody-goody. That is not. And there the santosha comes, that now this is enough. What more about that? What further life is? We should be good to everybody. No, that is not all. Unless we come to discover our own essential nature, we will be caught up only in this relative world. So vinishchitaihi, it has to be firmly, clearly understood the scheme of spiritual practice and the goal to be attained. And this is why we should study this kshetra, kshetrajnayoho jnanam, the knowledge regarding kshetra, kshetrajna. Now stutya abhimukhi bhutaya arjunaya aha. And when thus this knowledge was glorified, probably Arjuna was drowsing. He said, okay, now let me listen. Therefore, shrunu. One day one person asked me in the Prempuri ashram after my lecture, suddenly in between you say, now be attentive. Why do you say like that? I said, because I see somebody is drowsing. So when I say be attentive, he becomes attentive. And he becomes, an excuse for me to say, so others also become attentive. Because whenever something is going on, lullaby effect takes place, And in that lullaby effect, Brahma, Mahabrahma, Mahatamisra, Andatamisra, everything gets washed. And thereafter, Swamiji's lecture was so great. What? I understood nothing. Because I was in Andatamisra. Now, in the 5th verse, the teacher starts talking about kshetra. What is the kshetra? Mahabhutanyahankaro buddhiravyaktamevacha indriyani dashaikam cha Panchachendriya gocharaha Ichcha dvesha sukham dukkham Sanghataschetana dhrutihi Etat kshetram samasena Savikaramudarutam. Now, what is this kshetra? Etat kshetram samasena. This is what is called as kshetra in short. And savikaram, along with all its modification, udarutam, we have explained. What do you explain? First, Mahabhutani ahankaraha buddhihi avyaktamevacha. He starts from below and reaches the Prakriti. If you remember, in our Patanjali Yoga Darshan class, we have taken what is the para Prakriti is avyakta or the Prakriti. That is the first step, which is meant here avyaktamevacha. Bhagavan is going from gross to the subtle. We will take that way so that it becomes clear. Avyakta, Prakriti. And the next one is the Mahattattva. according to Vedanta Shastra, when Prakriti becomes ready to sprout out, that is called as the Mahat Tattva. And in our Yoga Shastra or Sangha is called as the Buddhi. So Avyakta, then the Buddhi, and or the Mahat Tattva according to Vedanta. And thereafter, from this Mahat Tattva, the two branches take place. One branch goes into the formation of the objective world, and the second branch goes into the formation of the subjective world. So how the Mahat Tattva divides? The Mahat Tattva divides as Asmita, and from this Asmita or the Ahankar, Asmita Ahankar are same. So from the Asmita or the Ahankar, the Ekadasha Indriyani, see? And from this Mahat Tattva, the Pancha Mahabhuta Sukshmendriyani Tanmatrani, and then from this Tanmatras, the grossified elements called as the Vishayas. In this manner, the 24 Tattvas are manifested. So, what Bhagavan Shankar has to say, Mahabhutani, Mahanti Chatani, Sarva Vikara Vyapakatvat Bhutani Cha Sukshmani. So we are talking about the Sukshmani Bhutani, that means the Tanmatras. So, the Akasha Tanmatra, then the Vayu Tanmatra, then the Teja Tanmatra, Jala Tanmatra, and the Prithvi Tanmatra. The nascent form of the space, air, fire, water, and earth. Mahabhutani. Then Sthulani tu Indriya Gochara Shabdena Abhidhyayishante. Because why you are taking them as the subtle elements, nascent elements, tanmatras? Because Indriya Gocharaha, he will be using the word Indriya Gocharaha. Indriya Gocharaha means what? Which are comprehended by the senses as the object of knowledge. So what we know through the sense organs is the gross elements. So, the Panchikrita Mahabhutani are Indriya Gocharaha. Therefore, we use the Mahabhutani means the Karanatmikani. They are the subtle Tanmatras. Sthulani tu Indriya Gochara Shabdena Abhidhyayishante. They will be told they are indicated by the Indriya Gochara, the fields of sense organs. Then Ahankaro. So Mahabhutani is over, then the Ahankara. What is Ahankara? Mahabhuta Karanam Aham Pratyaya Lakshanaha. So it is the next one, the Mahabhuta Karanam. What is the cause of these Pancha Mahabhutas, Mahabhutani? So the cause of these Pancha Mahabhutani or the Tanmatras is the Mahat Tattva, that is mentioned here as Ahankaraha. Mahakarana Bhutam Aham Pratyaya Lakshanaha. Ahankaranam Buddhihi. Then comes the Buddhi Adhyavasaya Lakshana. The Buddhi is the one deciding factor. Now, Tat Karanam Avyaktam Evacha Na Vyaktam Avyaktam Avyakrutam Ishvara Shakti Mama Maya Duratya Iti Yuktam. So, in this manner, the teacher has gone from the grossified elements, Indriya Gochara. Then the subtle elements, the Tanmatras. From the Tanmatras, he has gone to the Mahat Tattva. And from the Mahat Tattva to the Prakriti, one side. And second side, these Indriyani Dashaikamcha. So the 11 Indriya, that is Jnanendriya, Karmendriya and the mind, they are formed out of these Asmita or the Ahankar. In this manner, Avyaktam, Na Vyaktam, Avyaktam, Avyakrutam, Ishvara Shakti, Mama Maya Duratya iti Yuktam. So this Ishvara Shakti, Avyakta is Duratya. Maya is difficult to transcend. Eva Shabdaha Prakriti Avardharnartha Etavati Eva Ashtadha Bhinna Prakriti. So, buddhiravyaktam evacha. So, this first line, Mahabhutani, Ahankara, Buddhi and Avyakta. This is the Ashtadha Prakriti which was mentioned in the 7th chapter. This is the Apara Prakriti. So, Bhagavan has used there the words that Bhumirapo Nalo Vayu Kham Mano Buddhirevacha Ahankara iti yamme bhinna Prakriti Ashtadha. So that one verse is compressed into MP3 format. It has come only in one line. Mahabhutanyahankaro buddhiravyaktamevacha is the Ashtadha Apara Prakriti. So this is Karanatmika Prakriti. Then cha shabdo bheda samuchayartaha, and the word cha is indicated to used to indicate the differences. Cha means and. Now, eva shabda prakriti avadharanartha and cha shabda bheda samuchayartha. Now, indriyani dasha shrotradini pancha buddhi utpadakatvat buddhindriyani and vak panyadini pancha karma nirvartakatvat karmendriyani tani dasha. So, there are 10 organs. 5 which are creating the knowledge, they are called as buddhindriyani or jnanendriyani. And 5 which are engaged in the activity, they are called as karmendriyani. So 10 of them. And ekam cha kim tad mana ekadasham sankalpadhyatmakam. And what is the 11th sense, 11th organ is the mind. So mind is the antakarana, the inner instrument. Karmendriya, jnanendriya, they are the external instruments. In this manner, 11 indriyani. Indriyani dashaikam cha. Ekam cha kim tad mana ekadasham sankalpadhyatmakam, that mind which is of the nature of sankalpa, vikalpa, etc. Pancha cha indriya gocharaha shabdadayo vishayaha. So what is the indriya gocharaha? Shabda sparsha rupa rasa gandha. These objects which are comprehended by the 5 sense organs, they are called as indriya gocharaha. Tani etani sankhyaha chaturvinshati tattvani achakshate. So, by this verse, the 24 tattvas of the Sankhya are indicated. Which are the 24 tattvas of the Sankhya? In the first verse, they are 8. Apara Prakriti. In the second verse, Indriyani Dasha Ekamcha. So, 11 and Panchachendriya Gochara, 11 plus 5 is 16. So, 16 plus 8, 24. So these are the 24 tattvas as indicated by the Sankhyas about the Prakriti. In this manner, the Kshetra includes this. Mahabhutanyahankaro buddhiravyaktamevacha indriyani dashekam cha panchachendriya gocharaha. Now after having told this, atha idanim atmaguna iti yan achakshate vaisheshikaha te api kshetra dharmaha eva natu kshetrajnasya iti aha Bhagavan. So, Sankhya's Prakriti is acceptable to the Vedanta up to this point. But when the Sankhya's say that the Prakriti is independent of the Brahman, Swatantra, that is not acceptable. The Prakriti is dependent on the Brahma. Therefore, Brahmashraya Prakriti. Otherwise, what is the problem with the Sankhya? Is that Sankhya Yogo Dvidhapanna. If you remember in our Sadachar, it is very clearly told that Shabdika Shabda Tatparaha. Those grammarians, they are lost only in the grammar. And the Sankhya Yoga, they are lost in the duality. Because according to them, the Purusha is also eternal, the Prakriti is also eternal, and they are independent of each other. So there are 2 drivers driving the same car. So, after having accepted this part of the Sankhya's, now the Vaisheshikas are another one which are totally outrightly rejected over here. What is that? Atmaguna iti yan achakshase Vaisheshikaha. The Vaisheshikas, what they say? That desire, anger, hatred, joy, sorrows, etc. These are the attributes, qualities of the self. And therefore they say, I am miserable. See, we all experience, because I is the Atma, and miserable because misery is the dharma of the Atma. I am happy because I is the Atma and the happiness is dharma of the Atma. In this manner, they take these as the Atma Gunaha. But here Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, no, te api kshetra dharmaha. They also belong to the kshetra, not to the Atma or the kshetrajna. Eva natu kshetrajnasya iti aha Bhagavan. And therefore, Bhagavan says in the 6th verse, Ichcha dveshas sukham dukkham Sanghatas dhruti Etat kshetram samasena Savikaram udarutam. Now they are enumerated. Ichha. What is ichha? Yad jatiyam sukha hetum artham upalabdhavan purvam punaha tad jatiyam upalabhamanaha tam adatum ichhati sukha hetuhu iti sa iyam ichha antakkarana dharmaha jneyatvat kshetram. What is ichha? Yad jatiyam sukha hetum artham upalabdhavan. Whatever thing we got in the past, purvam, and because of which we had a very good experience, and therefore punaha tajjatiyam upalabhamanaha. So again I should get the same thing. Tam adatum ichhati sukha hetuhu. So to get the same kind of happiness, we seek to get the same cause because of which we have had experience of joy. Iti sa iyam ichha. This is called as the desire. So what is the desire? Desire is that notion in our mind which demands the repetition of those experiences which have given us happiness. And therefore those causes because of which we have got the happiness, we want to seek them, get them, work for them again and again. This is called as ichha, and this is antakkarana dharmaha. This is most important. So what is the locus of the desire? The desire is located in the antakkarana because jneyatvat. Because we know when we have desire. So jneyatvad iti kshetram. That is called as the kshetra. Now the second one. Tatha dveshaha. Yajjatiyam artham dukkha hetutvena anubhutavan punaha tajjatiyam upalabhamanaha tam dveshti sa ayam dveshaha jneyatvat kshetrameva. Exactly opposite. Earlier, whatever was the reason because of which we are suffered, and again if it comes, the same thing, Are Ram, again that fellow has come. That is called as the dveshaha. So, saha ayam dveshaha jneyatvat kshetram. And we very clearly know, when we dislike something or somebody, or the something comes and lands in your plate, Krishna, Rama, Govinda. Like, the other day one person asked me, Swamiji, do you believe in this Kundali horoscope? I said, yes. Then, what are the graha in your Kundali? I said, I can tell you. I made that Kundali chart and I wrote. In every house, there is idli, dhokla and the Murphy. This is what I wrote. This is my Kundali. He said, what is this? I said, in my every house there is idli and this is a dhokla and Murphy. What is Murphy? If something can go wrong, it must go. This is how the things happen. So, what you don't like, that will definitely come to you. And when it comes to you, you enjoy. Or others enjoy, you suffering. Therefore, dveshaha yajjatiyam artham dukkha hetutvena anubhutavan punaha tajjatiyam upalabhamanaha tvam dveshti saha ayam dveshaha. And this is also dneyatvad kshetram. And this hatred, disliking is also known to us. This is called as the dvesha or the kshetra. Now tatha sukham. So ichha dvesha sukham dukkham. The sukham what? Anukulam prasannam sattvatmakam dneyatvat kshetram eva. Sukha is the condition of the mind. What is the condition of the mind? Is prasannam sattvatmakam. Sattvatmakam, which is the condition of the mind. And what is the condition? Prasannam. Prasannam means that which is nearest to the reality is called as prasanna. Pra means prakarshena. Sanna sat. So when you make the kruda, it becomes sanna. So that which is nearest to the reality is called as prasanna. So that quality of the mind gives you an experience of sukham. Another meaning of sukham is kham means akash. Su means sushtu. Sukham therefore means that condition of our mind there is all bliss. Sukham. So our hridaya akasha is clear. There are no clouds of delusion. There is no thunder of ahankar. There are no rains of ignorance. And there are no difficulties of the hailstorm. That Shuddha Akasha is Sukham. And Dneyatvad, that also is Kshetram. And this is also known to us, is called a Kshetra. Then Dukkham Pratipkulatmakam Dneyatvat Tadapi Kshetram. And what is the Dukkham? Dukkham is that condition of the mind where everything is going upside down. I don't know what happened. Everything I know. That is Dukkham. And that is also Kshetram. That is also an object of knowledge, Dneyatvat, because it is known. Now Sanghata. What is the Sanghata? Sanghataha dehendriyanam samhitihi tasyam dehendriyanam samhitihi sanghataha. Sanghata means what? Where the deha indriyas are staying together. So therefore body along with all the faculties is called as the Sanghata. That also is the Kshetra, because that is also known to us. And in that body, tasyam abhivyakta antakarana vrittihi tapte iva lohapinde agni atma chaitanya bhasa rasavidha chetana sacha kshetram dneyatvan. Now this is another subtle point. Please understand this chetana. Chetana is not consciousness which is normally understood. See, in the body, when the consciousness is able to express as the antakarana vritti, and in that antakarana vritti there is the reflection of the consciousness in the form of the chidabhasa. So chidabhasa yukta antakarana vritti is called as chetana. And because of that there is life. Now, to understand this, take our example of bulb and electricity. Now what happens? In that bulb, there is an element which is also the bulb. When that element has the capacity to allow the expression of the electrical energy as light, then what we call? We say that bulb is alive. And when we call that bulb as dead? When that bulb's element is no more able to express the expression of electrical energy as light, then we say that bulb is dead. If this is understood, in the same manner, in the body, bulb, the element is the antakarana vritti, and in that antakarana vritti, the consciousness reflects as the chidabhasa, and thereafter the life is manifested. Now, for whatever reason, if the body is not able to express the antakarana vritti which is holding the chidabhasa, then there is no chetana in that body. This is what is meaning of chetana. So, chetana, and that also known, so sacha kshetram jneyatvat. And it is something like, he has given example, tapte iva lohapinde agni. Like, when there is a piece of iron, and in that it is exposed to the fire for a long period of time, then in that iron piece, as the fire is permeating in and through, in the same manner, this mind is permeating in and through the total body, and in that there is the reflection of the consciousness, because of which there is enlivening of the matter, including the body and the antakarana vritti. So, but it is abhasena, it is not the absolute consciousness. So, this reflected consciousness in the mind leading to the enlivening of the mind is called as chetana, and that is also kshetram jneyatvat, because it is known. Now, dhrutihi. Now, what is the meaning of dhruti? Dhruti yaya avasada praptani dehendriyani dhriyanti sacha jneyatvat kshetram. Dhruti means what? When we are tired, but somehow we are holding our eyes open and trying to sit in the class as if we are listening with contemplation. So we hold ourselves, and again sometimes the jhapki comes, and exactly that moment our eye is open, and the same moment the teacher's eye is open. I think he has seen. See? But we hold on. So this capacity to pull on in spite of the tiredness is called as dhruti. And this is also jneyatvat kshetram. Now one more point is added by Bhagavan Shankaracharya. It is here his greatness can be recognized. What is that? Sarva antakarana dharma upalakshanartham ichchadi grahanam. So all the modifications of the antakarana are to be included as the modification of the kshetra. So now, as we have seen in our Shvetashvatar Upanishad, Ekanemim Panchashata, and then all those, they are all the kshetra, because they are all constantly modifying. So, Sarva Antakarana Dharma Upalakshanartham, to indicate all the possible modifications of the Antakarana, Ichchadi Grahanam. We should take Ichcha, Dvesha, Raga, Sukham, Dukkham, etc. as only the pointers. So, Yataha Uktam Tat Upasamharati. So, whatever is said up to here, that teacher summarizes. What is that? Etat kshetram samasena savikaram sahavikarenam mahatadina udahrutam uktam. Thus, here I have concluded the topic of what is the kshetra and what are the modifications of the kshetra. So, etat kshetram samasena savikaram savikarena mahadadina, starting from the mahad, etc. uktam. So, what are the vikar therefore? Prakriti is not vikar. The vikar, the modifications begin from the mahad onwards. If you remember the words used by Patanjali Maharshi or the Shankar Shastra, what are those words? Avishesha Linga Parinam and the Vishesha Linga Parinam. So Prakriti is the Avishesha Linga Parinam. And Mahat Tattva downwards is the Vishesha Linga Parinam. Oh, acha, it is that. Got it. This must become so one with our whole system that you read one and everywhere it is connected. Cut. Then only it has become fully digested. Otherwise we will be struggling. So, sahavikarena mahadadina udaruta muktam yasya kshetra bheda jatasya samhatihi idam shariram kshetram iti uktam tat kshetram vyakhyatam mahabhutadibihi bhinnam dhrutyantam. So, what was said that this body is the kshetra, idam shariram kshetram iti uktam. What is that kshetra? It is vyakhyatam. What is that? Starting from the Mahabhutani up to the Avyakta, the whole thing falls in the purview of the kshetra. Therefore, now, when we say body, what do we understand? Do we understand by the word body our body? Do we understand by the word body as the subtle body? Or do we understand the gross and the subtle body as the effects and the causal body as the cause? So the causal body will be Prakriti, Yukta, Chaitanya, the Ishvara. In the causal body there are not manyness. So Ishvara and the causal body is one. And from there the manyness sprouts. From therefore Mahadadina, starting from the Mahad onwards, the Bheda begins. So Karana Karyatmaka is the Kshetram. The Kshetram is that which is expressing as cause and effect. And therefore this fifth verse, Mahabhutanyahankaro buddhiravyaktamevacha, this is the cause, Ashtadha Prakriti, Karanatmika. Then Indriyani Dashaikam cha is the Karana Lakshana. What are the instruments through it we come to know everything in this world. And Indriya Chendriya Gocharaha is the field where these senses function. Now see, the total thing has come. So Mahabhutanyahankaraha buddhi avyaktamevacha, in this avyakta is unmanifest, alinga parinama prakriti, and starting from buddhi, ahankara and mahabhutani, these fall in the purview of the effect. So cause and effect, and then from this effect, linga parinam, then the 11 jnanendriyas and the pancha Vishayas, Indriya Gocharaha. This is how the whole Prakriti is called as Kshetra, and that is called as Sharira. And it is in this Prakriti alone that, like we have seen, Kshatatranat, Kshayat, Ksharanat, and Kshetravat, Karma Phala, Upachayat, Kshetram iti avidhiyate. So this all the karma phala, kartrutva bhiman, then changes, protection, everything belongs to this Prakriti, and it has nothing to do with the Paramatma, the Purushaha. And therefore, by the word Kshetra or the Sharira, when our understanding becomes like this, then our understanding is complete. And if by the word Kshetra or the body or the Sharira, we mean only our wretched body and keep only in that small thing, then you will be lost throughout your life. Therefore, yesterday's Sayyama we have seen that avikalpa videha dharana. When we practice, see, when I was studying that, last night there was another beautiful discovery. We keep the mind inside and do the bhavana or dharana, keeping the mind as if located outside. So Dehatma Bhava is maintained, but the mind is kept outside. This is called as the Vikalpa Videha Dharana. The second was Avikalpa Videha Dharana, wherein our identification with our body is given up and we remain, or rather the mind remains outside the body. That is called as the Avikalpa Videha Dharana. Now one more thing. What is one more thing? When you sit and in that quiet sitting, when you start relaxing your body, what happens? When the body is relaxed, the shape and the form of your mind, which has taken the shape and the form of your body, that shape and form of the body is discarded. When the shape and the form of the body is discarded, body is dropped from the mind for good. When the body is dropped from the mind for good, where is the question of Vikalpa Videha Dharana or Avikalpa Videha Dharana? There is no mention of the body. So this will be called as the third stage. See? And when this is being practiced, then we migrate from the Antakarana to the Chaitanya. That is called as the Maha Videha Dharana. We can add one more to that. Because there is no reference of the body identification. In those two there is reference, body identification. So, in this manner, this Maha Bhutanyahankaro Buddhira Vyaktamevacha Indriyani Dashaikam Cha Panchachendriya Gocharaha Ichchadivesha Sukham Dukkham Sangatas Chetana Dhuti Etat Kshetram Savikaram, along with the modification, is explained. Now, what is normally expected? After Kshetra is indicated, explained. What is the next topic? Kshetrajna. But Bhagavan, Sri Krishna does not explain Kshetrajna. So why he does like that? Kshetrajna Vakshamana Visheshanaha Yasya Saprabhavasya Kshetrajnasya Parijnanat Amrutam Bhavati Tam Neyam Yattat Pravakshami Ityadina Savisheshanam Swayam Eva Vakshati Bhagavan. Now that Kshetrajna Vakshamana Visheshanaha, about whom things will be told, Yasya Saprabhavasya, and of this Kshetrajna, what is the impact of this knowledge? Parijnanat, knowing this, Amrutatvam Bhavati, one attains immortality. So this Neyam Yattat Pravakshami, by this verse Bhagavan Sri Krishna will tell himself. So why should I tell? Then Adunatu Taj Jnana Sadhana Ganam Amanitvadi Lakshanam Yasmin Sati Taj Neya Vidnyane Yogya Adikritaha Bhavati Yat Paraha Sannyasi Jnana Nishtaha Uchyate Tam Amanitvadi Ganam Jnana Sadhanatvad Jnana Shabdavacham Vidadhati Bhagavan. Such a beautiful thing Bhagavan says. Now, Neyam Yattat Pravakshami, I shall tell you that which is worthy of knowing. Sir, you may tell me, but will I be able to comprehend that? This is how it happens, many times. Some people, they have heard me either on the TV or, some public lectures, one lecture here and there. And then they come here and they sit for this Upanishad Bhashya or Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Some students, they come and tell, Swamiji, this Patanjali Yoga Sutra, you tell where from? We don't know anything, And it becomes so, we feel, my God, it's good we are not studying with Swamiji. See? Because you are not qualified. That is what I was telling the other day. Somebody was asking, I said, look here. What I talk is depending on who is listening. Because depending on the adhikara of the student alone, the teacher talks. And if the student is not adhikari and you go on talking, something like what? You talk to the children. Children, sit quiet. Do you know why? Because Brahma is avikari. The Brahman doesn't undergo any modification. And if you sit quiet, you will also attain Brahman. Swamiji, shall I go? Brahman has gone to bathroom. B for Brahman, B for bathroom. Why do you remember bathroom in between? Swamiji, you said Brahman, Brahman, suddenly I remembered, I have not gone to bathroom. Now tell me, this is what happens when people start studying. They imagine because they can read, they can write, they can study, you have to have this qualification. Now see what Bhagwan Shankara says. Adhana tu taj jnanam sadhana ganam. Jnana sadhana ganam. The total qualities which are required for recognition of this truth. Which are that qualities? Amanitvadi lakshanam, which will be told in this 7th verse onward, 20 qualities. Amanitva, etc. Lakshanam. Yasmin sati, when you have all this quality in full bloom, then taj neya vijnane yogyaha adhikrutaha bhavati. Then alone we are able to understand what is said by these words. Otherwise, as we know, the padartha pratyaya, what we know, we don't know. Pada, artha and pratyaya. The word, the meaning of the word and the knowledge. Only these 3 things are clearly understood, knowledge doesn't take place. So here also, Tajneya Vijnane Yogyaha Adhikrutaha Bhavati. Then only he becomes qualified to know the truth. And when Yatparaha Sannyasi Jnanishtaha Uchyate, and that sannyasi who has all this amanitva, adambitva, ahimsa, kshantirarjavam, he is called as jnananishta sannyasi. Be very attentive. Therefore, jnananishta sannyasi doesn't mean he who has studied a lot, no. Doesn't mean who is giving wonderful lectures, no. Jnananishta sannyasi means the one who has all these 20 attributes, qualities at his disposal all the time. He is the jnananishta sannyasi. Now, why this amanitva, etc. is called as jnanam? We thought jnana means atma jnana, brahma jnana. Look here. Amanitvadhi ganam jnana sadhanatvad jnana shabdavachyam. Because it is the means of attainment of this ultimate knowledge. Therefore, this is also called as jnanam, the knowledge. Like, our Swamiji used to give this example. You are going from Nagpur to Madras. Those days there was no Chennai. So Nagpur is a railway station, the most confused station from where everywhere the trains go. Then you go and ask, where is Madras? Where is Madras? So the porter said, that is Madras. So you go and see the train Madras. And then you sit in that. So that train is not Madras. Then, because it is the sadhana to reach Madras, therefore the train is also named as Madras Express. In the same manner, Amanitvadi, all these 20 attributes ultimately lead us to this ultimate knowledge. Therefore, they are also called as Jnanam. And what is those Jnanam? 7th verse. Amanitvamadambhitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam acharyopasanam shaucham sthairyamatma vinigraha indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha दुःखदोषानुदर्शनम् असक्तिरनभिष्वङ्गः पुत्रदारगृहादिषु नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम् इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु मयि चानन्ययोगेन भक्तिरव्यभिचारिणी विविक्तदेशसेवित्वम् अरतिर्जनसंसदि अध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वम् तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम् एतज्ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानं यदतोऽन्यथा. So starting from this verse number 7 up to the verse number 11, these are the 20 points which are together called as jnanam, and contrary to this is called as ajnanam. So there are 40 points that will be studied. And when we study them slowly, what should happen, what should not happen, this I'll tell you in short, and then we see in our next class. When we are studying this, are we analyzing ourselves or we are evaluating others? This is what happens most of the time. Whenever something good things are there, I think they are all in me. And whenever something is bad, I think it is in my mother-in-law. Full. No. We are not in this world to evaluate anybody. We are not in this world for anything else except Adhyatma Jnana Nityatvam. Focus attention on ourselves. And what are those points? We will take them one by one and try to assimilate, because Shrunu Avadharaya Ityartaha. Listen and practice in your own life. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om.